rock me, mama.
You know what does really piss me off?
What?
When I walk in your house and those chocolate-covered coconut almonds aren't here.
Yeah, me too.
I know.
I mean,
Literally.
we could just actually buy them for ourselves, but
you know what the
we
difference
prefer to eat
was
them
and why
here.
we don't have them is because Bill did the grocery shopping.
Oh, Bill.
dropping the ball again.
Because I buy 2 packs of them
Yeah.
whenever I go.
Well,
Yes. Look at how cute Morg looks. I
know.
took pictures of us.
She's look cute.
You
Look at how cute
guys,
she
I'm not
looks.
even doing anything.
No, but you have
it
like
must
your
just be
little-
natural. I think we're recording, right?
Okay,
Audio.
that's fine. We could start with the chocolate-covered almonds.
Yep. All right.
Anyways,
Okay, so how are you?
I don't know.
How's you?
we're fine. Literally, before we started rolling, before you got down here, Amy was like, "How are you doing?" And I was like, fine."
Her and Chase are in a little, not like a big, just like a little.
We're just in a marriage,
Yeah, they're in a marriage.
Well, that's relatable.
you know.
So am I, actually, now that you mention it.
Oh, me too.
What's going on?
Oh, I'm in a marriage.
Do you want to talk about it?
I don't know because we haven't even like talked about it yet. But
He doesn't know how he feels.
we
Morg.
Does he want his vasectomy reversed?
Oh
No.
Fuck no!
Oh my God, no.
I was about to, no. I was about to say it.
Yeah,
know
no,
what just
no.
happened,
He does not.
Sorry, that threw me for a loop. No, he doesn't at all. We just have very different ways of communicating, which is fine. Everybody does.
Yeah.
Like every couple has a different way of communicating. And it just makes it really hard.
Like you want to
communicating-
talk about things and he needs a while to process.
He needs a month.
Yeah, like he takes. And during that time when
month.
he's processing, is he just like silent or what is he?
It's not like we're just like walking past each other, not saying anything, but there
Yeah.
are walls up
Yeah.
for sure.
Like you can just tell that he's distant.
Yeah, and my natural thing is to be like, "Are you okay? Did I do something wrong? Are you stressed?"
Do you ask him?
Oh, every time, yeah.
But do you ask him like already annoyed?
I try to limit it to 1 time a day,
Yeah.
unless it's like, "What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Like, why are you?" But like over the last week, literally, I think there were 4 days in a row that I was like, "Are you okay?" Like genuinely,
Does
are
he
you
look
okay?
sad?
Distracted.
Yeah.
would
No, I
say.
think I
Just
remember you
distracted.
talking about this before. So back up a little. So whenever you say he's processing something, is this something that you know has occurred and you're like, oh, okay, he's just not telling me how he feels, or it's something that's a mystery to you?
I don't know what-
But
I don't
you
know
so
idea.
you know the symptoms of something being wrong, but you don't know what happened.
I don't. Yeah,
Yeah, and he won't tell her.
I don't
Because he doesn't
know.
think, he doesn't know that he knows.
yeah,
So he just feels off.
yeah.
Has he ever heard of bipolar depression? I'm just kidding.
Fair question. Also, I don't.
That was
I don't-
projection on my part.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want this to sound like it's like
No.
let's roast
No.
Chase.
No, it's a
'cause he's
bummer.
The shit, but
No,
it's just
I process
Yeah, no.
things kind of like Chase. Like
Yeah.
I need time. Like I need to be silent for a minute. And like by a minute, I mean, it can be a few days.
Yeah.
And that is torment for my husband
Yeah.
because he is someone that wants to talk about everything. And like, he's not as good with his words when he's upset or during confrontation. Whereas I like am very quick
yeah.
with
Right.
with that stuff. And so he's like, you're better than me at this.
Aw.
And I'm like, I'm not trying to be better. I'm trying to understand what the fuck
Trying to pull it
you're
out of him.
talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I will
kinda get
take
that way
a
too.
few.
My emotions get so high that
Yeah.
sometimes I'm like, I literally forget.
yeah,
Like I'm not
Him-
great at that either.
him too. And I can be angry about something whether I know it's irrational or not.
Mm-hmm.
And with time and age have learned to be like, let me marinate on this.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to approach this in a way that is reactive.
Yeah. Yeah.
So a lot of times I'm purposefully just kind of taking a step back to like process. And that bothers him a lot too. But I'm like, the alternative is me freaking out at you
Right.
and saying shit that's like, I don't really feel.
Right.
Whereas
that's
he'd rather
fine.
just talk through it.
Yeah.
But I can get silent, and I don't have any problem being a little distant for a few days if I'm processing, whereas it kills him.
I think that because that's fine. Like,
Yeah.
this isn't an issue of like you communicate or process the wrong way.
Yeah.
Because like everybody has a right to process how they need to. I think for me, it's like when your wife is asking you if something's wrong, the least you can do is say, I'm processing something.
Yeah.
And I will know, I've been with him for 10 years. That's all that I need to hear to say, okay, he'll come to me when he's processed it. I will stop asking.
What does
if
he
he's
say?
Okay. I'm fine.
Oh, really?
Ooh,
Yeah.
You're like, no, you're not. Again, you've been with him for 10
And it
years.
almost
You're
felt like,
not.
right. And I'm like, okay. I don't know. And I told him I was like, it feels like a slap in the face.
Yeah. Because you're like, you're not fine.
And like, well, and then I'm like, what the fuck did I do?
Yeah. Like, or is it me, or is something in our relationship? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I immediately, I mean, who wouldn't go there?
Yeah. Everyone goes there.
And so then it's just tough because I'm like, okay, well, I'm obviously doing something wrong, but you haven't figured out how to process it enough.
But you're not sure that that's really what it is. That's just where your mind goes.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's hard. Like we were talking about, like when you have kids and you have jobs, it's your partner kind of does just take the back seat of everything, because money is not going to come in without you making it. The kids do need you to survive.
Yeah.
And your partner technically can survive without you.
Yeah.
It's just like they emotionally need you, but like the urgency isn't there. So you're like, okay, I have to deal with all these things, and I'll deal with you later.
Yeah.
And I think you can do that for such a long period of time that it's that you get the love and the relationship gets lost.
Well, and to add to it, and I would assume that, I don't know what percentage of this, maybe we can fact check this, but like the majority of couples surely have different love languages, right? Or different emotional needs. And so I think that the longer that goes on of, your job needs and your household needs and your kid needs, the longer that those are priority, which like is all of the time currently for the most part, the longer that that's priority, the more, husband, wife, partners, whatever, need their own emotional needs. And then I think it's this like cycle effect of like, well, I'm feeling a lack of it here. And since I'm feeling a lack of it, then you're feeling my lack of what you're needing. You know what I mean? And so it's just this like vicious cycle of like, well, I'm not feeling it. And so I'm pulling away.
Yeah.
And because I'm not, then you're not. So you're pulling away. And then it just, or that's how it is for us until we finally get to this point and we're like, look, we're fine. I love you. You love me. We're absolutely okay. We just like, this is built up.
Yeah.
Let's like kiss and make up. We're fine. But like,
I mean, money and kids are like the reasons people get divorced.
Yeah.
Those are the reasons.
Yeah.
Financial stuff and how hard it is to raise kids.
Yeah.
Like those are the reasons people get divorced. So it's like, I'm constantly thinking about that. Like, you're not ever going to get along perfectly all the time, and you're not going to be on the same page all the time. But you have, I guess, like the length of the times in which you are disconnected, you have to try to keep them pretty fucking short. And because the longer they get, the farther you are apart. And that's where you get into that dangerous territory where you feel more connected to your friends than you do to your partner. And like, that's a scary place to be.
Totally. And that is one thing that's where I always go. Like the second I start to feel that distance. Yeah. That's when I'm like, are you okay? Are we okay? And just because I'm quick to be like, I feel this, I want to fix it. I want to talk about it. But he needs
hasn't gotten to that point
time. To think about it. And so, I mean, and this happens every however long,
I've heard
cycle of it. And so like, we'll probably realistically won't have time to actually have a conversation about it until tomorrow afternoon. And it's going to be the same.
I just wonder if there's some sort of like safe word that y'all can come up with when he's like, when you're like getting to this point of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's what I was telling Amy before you came down here. It's like, it would be nice to know, like, I understand that this is how you process things. I don't have an issue with it. But to keep me so in the dark and let me feel like
it sucks.
Just kind of
like it
hurts. Yeah. I would at least just let me know. Even if you don't know that you're processing something, just say, hey, I could be processing something.
Yeah.
And that's all that that's it. That's all I need to know.
You know, and this is across the board. This isn't a jab at anyone in particular. This is just across the board. Maybe it's more of a lesson of like a need for some self-awareness, because I think like the concern for me is the repetitive, like this is a cycle for y'all, right? Like you've been through this before of like, oh, I know that this is happening and that there's something going on, and you know, it's not being like communicated or whatever. And then like, oh, I'm not really like, you know, nothing's wrong. I'm fine. Well, it's either you're lying or there's no self-awareness. So it's like kind of like which one is it?
Where my brain always goes personally is I always assume people know exactly why they're upset. And just whether or not they're ready to tell you.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Well, same.
That's maybe not
and like just say that if that's the case.
Well, that's what Chase is saying. He doesn't know why he is upset all the time.
Maybe
which to me, I hear that and I'm like,
right.
I don't know. Like, I don't know how it's possible.
Yeah.
But that's what he says. And that's, I believe that's fine. I'm not.
Valid.
I don't know. I'm not in
That's
his
just
head.
where my mind goes.
Right.
I'm always like, yeah, you do. Because I know myself, and I know, except for some isolated times when I've been like, I am just genuinely very depressed.
Yeah.
Mostly there is a root, and I can find the root, and I do know it. I'm just not ready to share it.
And that is so fine. Yeah. I just would like to know that that's why you're being distant. I don't need to know that. We can talk about the reason when you're ready.
We don't have to talk about it.
You know what I think about a lot, which is not good, but I do. I'm just like, I'm not a glass half full person. I'm more of just a realist. Like I look at things the way they are, and I prepare for the worst, and that's how I live my life. Call it good or bad. That's just how I am. But I think about like statistically, like how many people get divorced and how many couples just don't make it. And nobody walks down the aisle thinking this probably won't work. Nobody.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks this is it.
Yeah.
When you have a child with someone, you think for the most part that this is your person.
Yeah.
And when you think about how many people do end up getting divorced.
Yeah.
It scares the shit out of me because I'm so confident in what I have.
Yeah, totally.
And I'm so confident in Nick's love for me and my love for him that I can't imagine he'd ever come to the point where, because I don't think I ever would.
Yeah.
Where I would want to be with someone else or stray or
I agree.
break up or start fresh. Like that to me is a fucking nightmare.
It seems unthinkable.
Literally a nightmare.
Yeah.
But that's how other people feel too.
See, and that's the scary
part. That's scary. Like my mother, by the time she divorced my father, hated his guts.
Yeah.
She could not even stand the sight of him.
Yeah.
You know, and he wasn't great. He really wasn't. He wasn't a bad guy. My dad is wonderful, but he wasn't a great husband.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because he was cheating or doing any of those stereotypical things. It was that he just got too fucking comfortable.
Yeah.
He didn't fucking listen, and he didn't go out of his way to make her life easier. And he dismissed a lot of her emotional feelings that really were very valid, raising 4 kids basically alone in a house by yourself while your husband works. And that's like crazy making, as we know.
Yeah.
So, you know, I didn't grow up seeing what love looked like at all. And I don't think my dad ever fathomed that my mother would actually meet someone else and leave him. But she did. And that sometimes scares me about my comfort level. Like, I'm just like, I know Nick the way I know him, but if you've ever broken up with someone's changes like that.
Yeah.
And like the way they look at you, the way they talk to you, everything about their demeanor, it's just like you're not you to them anymore.
Right.
And like to think about that, and sometimes I'll have these fucked up dreams where Nick cheats on me.
Oh, those are the worst.
Yeah, I have dreams where Nick cheats on me, and then I find out, and I I come at him and I'm like, you cheated on me. And he's like, so?
And it's those are the worst dreams.
And it's his face and it's his body and everything. But he's like, hey, I don't know what to tell you. Or
I've had those dreams.
You know? Or there's a dream I used to have.
So weird.
And you fucking hate them.
Yeah.
You wake up and you're like, I hate you.
Anytime that's happened, I have to be like, I'm Maddie. I'm having a hard time looking at you right now. Yeah. And of course he's like, I'm sorry.
Because they're because they're not themselves. But that's how it really happens.
Yeah.
It's something snaps and somebody all of a sudden doesn't look at you the way that they used to look at you. And like in my dream, one of them is like Nick just very obviously trying to hook up with this girl. But it's in my presence.
Yeah.
But like trying to be secretive, but I can see it. Mm-hmm. And them going into a different room to try to hook up and me following them and being like, I can see, like, what are you guys doing? Mm-hmm. And him being like, what do you, like, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
And me seeing it.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I just get scared that one day, like, really his feelings for me will change.
It's really scary.
And I will all of a sudden not be who I am to him. Mm-hmm. And I will look in his eyes and he won't be my husband, Nick. He'll be this dude that just like fucking got over me because some like hot young bitch at work.
No, please.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah, but do you think...
And I know it sounds crazy now because we're so in love with each other. Yeah. But it's not crazy.
You see,
it happens to people all the time.
Do you think you're seeing it through the lens of your parents though? And like that's why?
Well, I think maybe there's that. I come from a family of a lot of divorce. I've also been cheated on where it was like a situation where I was literally there and like everyone knew but me and like that's happened to. And I've also dated people who have so blatantly not respected or loved me that everyone else knew and like I didn't know.
Yeah.
So I think it really makes you question like your own picker.
Yeah.
And like it makes you question
we
like
can validate that Nick was a good pick though.
No, Nick's Nick's the best pick. I mean, Nick saved my life. I was really like in a really bad place. But I mean, I've dated people who have been like not good people and that makes me feel bad about me because why the fuck? I'm supposed to be this strong bitch. Why the fuck am I dating this piece of shit that everyone else is seeing is a piece of shit and I'm not? Like, was I that dickmatized? You know what I mean?
Probably not. It was something else.
But so then I'm like, okay, maybe, but will I know? I think I would know the signs if something was happening where Nick changed. Do you guys think that I mean, it's like, how do you know when someone, and we've talked about this, we have friends that this stuff happens to, where someone falls out of love with someone at our age.
Yeah. It's
terrifying.
Well, and especially like at this time in all three of our lives where, you know, with babies either coming or being God, Wyatt's 13 months old today, but like still nursing, still totally dependent on me. Being in the postpartum or pregnant stage is when it's the scariest because we don't have ourselves to give.
Yeah.
And Chase is so good about like anytime we're in one of these ruts, I guess we'll call it, or even just like roommate stage, you know, like when you're just feeling like more of a roommate instead of a partner. He always says like right now, they are your priority. And what you were doing is more important than, you know, oftentimes it's like, it's the conversation around sex that I don't want to have sex right now. And he's like, I always tell myself, you know, what you were doing right now with Wyatt is, first of all, just a blip of time. And second of all, it's way more important than my need. Like it will be okay. And I know that's
he'll
what
live.
Your role is right now. And so he's so good about not only understanding that, but he voices that to me, that he knows that's what my role is right now. And I do really appreciate that because I'm sure there are a lot of men
Oh,
that probably
you've seen our comment section,
right?
They're like, "Is he paying your bills? You better open those legs."
Yeah, right.
Like, what the?
And Chase is very patient when it comes to that. I mean, we're 13 months in now, and we did have sex 2 mornings ago. It's not like it's like a dry spell of every.
No, I love
month,
that all of us like definitely tally our sex because we're like, okay, we did it. So that bides us 2 weeks.
Yeah, you're telling me
again.
You're telling me you put out 2 mornings ago and he's acting like
I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with him.
Well,
I hope that like I promise we're fine. He was like, "Are y'all good?" Like we're fine. You guys Chase and I are fine.
Do you think we're actually worried about you guys?
We will like
no,
we're not actually worried about you guys.
We will always be fine. I mean,
it just sucks.
It is scary to think like,
you're like
everybody else always says they're always fine.
But it is scary to think.
No, it's scary.
It is scary.
You know,
but we really are. We're fine. It's just this is.
I mean, yeah, I will say on the topic of like people just kind of like up and switching, right, and being like, never mind. That is like very much the minority, and like all
do you think so?
Divorces. So. Yes, it's not just people just being like, actually. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I would say the vast majority, with confidence, I would say that it's an ongoing struggle of some sort. Somebody or both people were not able to make it work.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say like, I would say the vast majority that that this is coming.
Yeah. No, I think that's probably
I think
true.
that with confidence.
I just think like, I guess living in mostly major cities until I moved here, which I guess Nashville's a major city now.
Yeah.
But in major cities, it's so common to cheat. And it's so common to get divorced.
Yeah.
And like a lot of the tours I was on, it was just people cheating.
That's so
really,
and like, yeah.
Well,
see,
I've seen, I mean,
gross people.
Yeah.
But like,
sorry,
I've worked for people. It's not, I think you guys come from a different world where it isn't common, but I come from a world where it is common.
Yeah.
And so it has made me, and now I live in this different world. Like I always say, I've lived 9 lives, but I live in this different world where like everyone genuinely that I know has like a really fairly healthy relationship.
Yeah.
Everyone's doing kind of normal stuff. Like we're all just trying to live happy lives.
Yeah.
But that's not where I came from.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it is still really scary.
That's fair.
To think about, that one day somebody could just, like someone that looked like Scarlett Johansson or something could like start working at Dell and be like, I need to see you in my office, and then like take her panties off, and Nick's like, well, my dick's hard, and now I gotta go in.
He would give in.
You know what I mean? That like,
yes, and I'm
it's
not
probably not going to happen. But if it did, that'd be pretty hard to say no to.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
ScarJo just pulling her panties to the side.
Bill, if ScarJo pulled her panties to the side for you, what would you do?
I'd have a hard time saying no. She's so hot.
He said he would say
good.
no.
Yeah.
See, I get what you're saying.
I think Nick would, but I don't know.
However,
oh my God, Nick would.
But Amy, here's the thing,
no.
though.
ScarJo?
I get
would
that
say
this
no.
happens.
I don't know.
I know that this happens and people cheat or whatever. Those things don't happen though.
Yeah,
That's not
also,
reality. That's not reality. And I will say it's not impossible that people do just randomly switch and just like cheat and oh my gosh, this is so shocking.
Yeah.
However, the chances out of all the marriages, all the good marriages and people who would be surprised, the chances of that happening to you are so very slim.
But think about all the little trolls out there that like little men that are like just little ugly little trolls, and like one woman shows them attention and they leave their whole family.
I know the type.
Okay, but
you know what I mean?
Nick is not an ugly little troll.
No, Nick is not an ugly little troll. Nick is a very handsome, large person.
So yeah, that's not it. That's a whole other just
and it's not even it's not even Nick. I could be talking about anyone that like if I was married to anyone, I would feel that feeling.
Yeah.
Because
I think that is a product of because
it's just what I've seen. I've seen so much of it.
For me, and I'd be interested to hear you too, but and this is wild, but I did not know anybody directly who had been divorced until I met Chase. And I met him at 22 years old.
Almost everyone I knew were divorced.
See, I know. I grew up in the messy redneck South. Y'all, Phoenix City, Alabama, if you've ever heard of it. My condolences.
Was there a lot of divorce?
There's a lot of divorce and just so messy, like
domestic disputes.
Yeah, and like
not that that's funny.
went with Schneeshnaw, and then turns out they're cousins, and then she's pregnant with her great uncle's son's baby, and But I will say that was outside of my sphere of influence, though. I did grow up with a pretty
because that's how it
sheltered
was for me.
view
And I
of
know
marriage.
That's incredible, but
however, the facts are the facts, though. No matter my upbringing, that the chances that happened to you are so low.
Oh yeah,
I don't know that they're that low. With Nick, maybe personally,
no,
but I think
look, it's okay.
Nick is going to listen.
You
to
don't
this
have to
episode and be
agree
like,
with us,
babe.
You don't have to agree with us.
It's not even. But like the amount of people that have secret lives, like. There are so many people with secret lives.
True.
And I've known lots of them.
Yeah.
Like, it is not uncommon to live a secret life. It sounds fucking nuts to us because we have little kids and we're so tired. Who the fuck has time to cheat or energy to meet someone? God forbid. It's like, fucking who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
But literally, Tom Hardy could come to me and I'd be like, I am too tired,
If
honey.
anything,
Same.
I'm going to try my best to be alone.
Yeah,
I'm not going to try to go for somebody else.
I tell Nick all the time, like, if you pass away, God forbid, like, I'm marrying a gay man or I'm hanging out with my girlfriends. I'm sorry. I'm done with men.
I'm not remarrying.
But the amount of people that live double lives, it is extremely fucking scary.
Yeah,
and
it is really
if
scary.
we post something from this episode, the amount of women that will say, I was with someone who led a double life, you'll be shocked. Because it's real.
I know, but I will say, I know, and I don't.
On and has to tell
Chase
me.
is living a double life.
I don't think. I don't think it's impossible. Again, I do think, Amy, and I'm like you in this way. And you can, if you disagree with me, that's fine. I'm fine with being disagreed with. That you think on both. You think on the extremes.
Yeah.
Where for me, I either really like something or I really hate something.
Yeah. That's
or
how I am.
really like someone or I really don't like someone, or this is going to be great, or I just don't feel like doing this at all.
Yeah.
And so I would say, again, the self-awareness piece, which is a powerful, powerful tool. that okay, this is internal, and yes, it happens to other people, but there's some sort of term that I'm trying to think of that. But don't
it's extreme.
and don't attract this negativity that's not there.
Yeah, it's really for sure.
It's called
not there.
catastrophizing.
Oh yes, I think that might be it. Yeah.
And I do it also with Farah. I mean,
I was about to say you catastrophize. Catastrophize?
Yeah.
Catastrophize.
I literally think
Any
everyone
scenario
is trying to steal
in her life.
Farah.
Yeah. Also, anytime you've walked to my house, she has like what is it, pepper spray or a stun gun?
I have a stun gun.
A stun gun as well as the choking device, the anti-choking device.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I do respect. Hello.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, and I'm that way
prepared
too.
for an emergency, people.
And you said it. You said it at the beginning of this conversation that you do think your glass half empty.
Oh,
so
yeah, that's
like,
true. A realist.
it's okay to have those feelings. However, are they rooted in reality? No.
Yeah. Yeah.
But are they somewhat rooted in reality?
They're rooted in other people's reality.
Yeah. I mean,
the silence.
What about the sex offender registry? Have you looked at that?
I sure have.
Wait,
I know where
It's
there's
not that
sex
bad in this
offenders in our
area.
neighborhood.
oh.
It's not that bad in this area, but it's if you look, that will
It
snap you
will.
right into reality
It
because
will.
of how many sex offenders are probably right next to you.
See, here's the difference in you and me, Ames. I am an idealist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't want to know that the sex
Yeah,
offender's
look,
living
idealist, realist. Yeah,
I
Macy
wanna
would rather
know,
not
and I
talk
wanna
about it,
fucking
not think
prepare.
about it, not know. And I will say though, I need to link you to this podcast. It was Armchair Experts on Expert, and I think I told you this statistic before. That she studies. It's been like 2 years since I listened to it, so I need to go back and listen. But people are like, all big on the outlet, right? And that's relatable for motherhood. And it's like,
I want
my child's oxygen level. My child's oxygen level. It's like, well, what's the number? Can you tell me? Can you tell me what their oxygen level should be? No, you don't know. You have this fake sense of comfort, right? That because you think it's going to make it better. And then like child abductions is like the statistics with like all the children in America, or I think it's America. And then you would have to leave them outside by themselves for like 30 years or something, or 3 years or 30.
No.
It's years in order for it to be statistically likely for it to happen to your child.
Oh.
Yes. So it's unlikely. It's not likely.
See?
I'm not saying never prepare.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying like as like a peace of mind is like, okay, I can like have these feelings and you can also like, let them pass like everything's
No, it's true.
fine.
Like I have to not live. It's the same thing with gun control. Like I have to not live thinking someone's going to shoot my kid.
Well,
at
and my
school.
thing's tornadoes. So
And tornadoes, like all of it. I mean, there's just so much. And in
I got
today's
diarrhea
world,
just saying the word tornado.
It's pretty hard today in today's world to not catastrophize.
Well, it's harder.
Yes.
Once you become a mom.
Yeah.
It is harder.
Yes. And I'm not dogging you at all. I totally get it. I totally get it.
Because there are things that I've definitely like always seen the best in people, and I'm an optimist, and like probably should have my radar up a little bit more. But it has been up more since becoming a mom.
Yeah.
So I do think once you become a mom, that is all and amplified more.
I think this does, speaking of amplify the need and the importance. Sorry, I'm getting up on my soapbox. Okay.
Get up on that soapbox, girl.
Get up on it.
Get the fuck off social media.
Yeah.
Get off the internet.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, just take a little break. Kudos to you, Macy, for taking weekends off. I recognize, I see that, and I see you.
Yeah.
So nice.
There are times when I'm like, okay, none of us are meant to be, and this is not an original novel idea that I'm having right now. None of us are meant to be taking in this amount of information from all over the world, all these people. I mean, think back in the day before phones and internet. It was like, you didn't know what was going on in people's lives. And I really do think, of course, they had other issues like, just keeling over at one flu, but it is what it is.
But it was better.
Yeah. It's like, you don't need
better to not
this
know.
level of access to everything
It's
because
too much information.
But again, the things are happening. Like gun violence is like people see things and then they're inspired, right? To go shoot up a school. But also you see that happening. So then you're that much more on alert. Yeah. So that's fair. Yeah. I'm saying for your own peace, I have found just shutting it off. Yeah. Whether it's at a certain time of day every day or just straight up deleting the apps for like a good couple weeks, which I know I did that. I had the luxury of doing that more though, because
you did do that.
I did that for a while during it's still going on with Israel and Gaza and all that. Because I was literally deteriorating as a human. Like I couldn't function at all. And it's still going on 7 months later. Yes. These people are still...
October?
Yeah. Since October 7th. It's what? May 7th? May 6th?
Tomorrow's May 7th.
So, like, I just can't fathom it. But, like Nick said, you cannot help these people directly right now. You can't.
No.
You don't have global impact. So stuff like that. And me and Nick we put our phones away at night so that we can watch a show and engage with each other.
That's wonderful.
And we've been doing it, trying to do so much less in front of her because she is already addicted. Like she wants to play a game on my phone constantly. It's the only way that she'll let me do her hair. Yeah. So I do let her do it when I'm doing her hair because you guys know how psycho I am about her hair. Yes. It has to look amazing.
And it always does.
She'll thank me later.
Yeah, she will.
But I think getting off whenever you can.
Get off whenever you can.
It's so good.
That's the key to a successful marriage.
Get off
whenever you can.
The internet whenever you can.
That was a good one, ladies. Yeah.
Wrap
See
it
you
up
next week.
Yeah. But I wanted to know, because we were talking about this earlier, because I do have a lot of friends that don't have kids. And I'm just going to say it. They seem really happy.
Well, so this is...
and they seem like they're really in love
Here's how this
and
conversation
happy.
went down. Amy said, I wonder what the difference is, or what the statistic is in couples who have had kids and who haven't. Are they
the
happy
divorce
or whatever?
rate or
and
the
I
happiness
said,
rate?
Well, I do think in a lot of marriages, that don't have kids, they almost feel empty. And obviously, this is me just thinking. I cannot speak from experience, but I do think that a lot of times kids fulfill people and give them a sense of purpose. And I do think that there could be a lack of that in a kidless marriage. So I was curious too what that statistic was.
But then I was telling you about Claire and Brandon, my best friends. And they fucking give each other, they like make out every 5 seconds. They're obsessed with each other. They've been together longer than Nick and I.
I asked her. I was
and then I have another friend,
because and she goes, they're obsessed with each other.
They literally every 5 minutes they're like, I love you. I love you so much. They're fucking obsessed with each other.
And Bill goes, yeah.
And then I have
all of us were just like,
I have other friends, older married couples that don't have kids, and they just travel and they seem really, really happy. So I don't know if
that can be our future when the kids are out of the house.
Yes, but then there's empty nest syndrome. Okay, I'm gonna just let glass half empty. Okay, empty nest syndrome. Sometimes your kids are the only thing keeping you together.
Yeah, the only thing.
We're not there yet. We're in the beginning stages of this fucking life.
Yeah,
it's a whole new life, and we're starting it.
Yeah,
but you get into a routine with your kids, as we already all have. And one day they go away and they aren't home.
And you don't know what to talk about.
And you have no fucking idea what to do with yourself. And a lot of times that's when people get divorced.
Yeah, for sure.
But I would love to know what childless marriages, if they have happier marriages.
Yeah, well, happier marriages is one thing. Whether they go through with divorce, I guess, is another. But
yeah, that's true.
Okay, there's so many different things, but generally what I'm seeing is that marriage, like marital happiness, greatly dips after the birth of the first child. So we're all
we're past that, right?
On a great path to success.
We're past that though. It's already dipped.
However, sorry, I had it pulled up. And then the relationship between spouses does often suffer once kids come along. And what I'm seeing though is that out of all divorced couples, 60% are childless.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
yeah. But so I mean, it's almost half and half. But I guess what I'm seeing is like the reasons can vary.
Well, there's probably if you don't have kids, it's easier.
Yeah. What's the It's okay. You have way less to worry about.
That I don't.
Yeah, but it does seem that the reason like marital happiness can decline.
Oh, kids definitely make your relationship harder.
Well,
they just do.
But like, it's like, I mean, it's a balancing of the scales, right? Like they make it worse. Okay. Y'all know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Things get worse because priorities shift.
You just don't have time to really.
Priorities shift across your whole entire life, not just your marriage.
Yeah, totally.
And then, but then they also make it so much better in a lot of ways.
Oh gosh,
sure.
I would never go back.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
So it's like, which one?
I'm adding on.
And
it's way more fulfilling.
And this is kind of, it can be taken as an extreme, so whatever. But if you have kids and things crumble and you're so unhappy, it's like, well, you probably weren't perfect to begin with.
Yeah.
I do think that there's so much more deep-rooted stuff going on than just like we had kids and now we fucked up and we're not happy anymore and we're just going to get divorced.
Yeah. Because I think an argument can also be made, and this is, Chase would say the same thing, that having kids makes you stronger. Because I know like once we got through all the shit with Wyatt, I'll never forget Chase looking at me being like, you and I, like, we did that. Yeah. Like, we got through that 100%. Together.
I agree with that. Don't you?
We were a team, and we came out on the other side of that much stronger than we were before. Because I guess we didn't have to. We could have been like, fuck this. This is awful.
Right.
And fought and bickered and
resilience.
Yeah. And did that the whole way through it. But we did. I mean, we were such a team during that. And so, that's an argument.
Yeah, exactly.
Too,
yeah.
Well, it's definitely like there's nothing like seeing your partner with your child.
Yeah.
And them having a happy time together and them bonding. It's like there's nothing more beautiful.
Pieces of y'all, and that's it. And
there's nothing more beautiful and attractive.
Yeah.
But it's hard to, I can look at Nick all day and understand like, damn, I really find him so attractive. He's really intelligent. He's really cool. He's really funny. And then at the end of the night, still be like, I am way too tired to have sex with you.
For sure.
And it's like,
for sure.
I know that must be hard for men, like for them to see that and be like, wait, I did everything right. We had such a great day, and she still doesn't have sex with me. But there are so many other ways that I show my intimacy
That's what I was
and my
say.
love.
Yes.
And we do have sex right now. So the doctors a few weeks back, remember when I started bleeding, I started spotting and a lot. I spotted for like 3 or 4 days, like pretty intensely, because we had sex, and it scared me so much. I thought I was having a miscarriage. And I went to the doctor and they said a whole bunch of shit, but they were like, basically, during sex, especially if your placenta is a little bit lower, you can spot a lot. So they were like, stay away from sex for a minute. And I was like,
goody.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
I was like, oh shit. And I did. And then when I went back, they were like, you're probably good to have sex. Just like expect to spot after.
God,
and
isn't comforting.
I told Nick, I was like, they said that sex is okay, but like I'll probably bleed afterwards. And he was like, well, then let's just not.
Yeah.
Like do it.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that about him a lot.
Yeah.
So we've just been like hooking up.
Yeah.
Which is actually kind of fun. Like
that is kind of fun.
Yeah, like
it's a change of pace.
It's a change of pace, and like it's more like he's really into it. But like
you don't say. That's
wow,
so weird.
Sounds so unlike him.
That's so weird.
But like we've been doing like not sex, and it kind of does like.
Well, at least you can't get pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're not having sex.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. Wait, but can you get double pregnant? Because I know that sounds like a really fucking dumb thing, but apparently I read that you can.
There are people who have who have gotten pregnant, but they've gotten pregnant back to back because they've like ovulated, gotten pregnant, but they like then soon after ovulated again that got fertilized as well. So they have actually 2 separate pregnancies. But no, you have
what happens?
But that happens like back to back, like very soon. You're not ovulating because the hormones necessary to keep up your pregnancy are preventing you from ovulating.
So I couldn't get double pregnant.
No,
I mean, I know I sound so dumb right now,
you cannot.
but I read about it. And
You can, but not right now. And it'd be extremely unlikely.
What happens?
Is it like right when you have the baby, or no? I read, it was like
when you get pregnant. So you ovulate, that one gets fertilized, but it's like they have like a hyper ovulation. There's some term where they ovulated again, so it's like 2 separate eggs, and then that one gets fertilized as well because So
are we talking like a month difference?
So yes, it could, or like a couple weeks, because twins, you can also, some women release 2 eggs, they both get fertilized. There you have twins, or that's one way of having twins. But then this is a separate thing of like not in the same cycle. Yeah, but like back to back. It has happened.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. I will say,
what?
I know there's
I did not know.
Yeah, pretty wild. I've only read it
once. I'm
once.
going to need to take a week to process.
There's I know there's no like real way to research this, but I wonder like what the statistics are for like divorces that happen because of men cheating after they've had kids and their wife doesn't want to have sex with them.
Oh,
probably.
Like I just like want to know like a number.
We've
you know
talked
what I
about
mean?
this before. How we feel like we like have to have it.
Like in a year, what are the
section.
amount of married couples that had a kid?
Yeah.
And what amount of married couples got divorced? Like what's the statistic?
Well, the comment section in some of our posts are basically men saying that
they would leave
if you're not, if she's not giving it to me, I'm getting it somewhere else.
See, here's the thing.
Even when she just had your baby, and she's fucking wrecked.
We've talked about self-awareness
How dare
a little bit on this episode. And look, just go ahead and be self-aware that you're a literal
piece of
garbage. And go ahead and like take the trash out because that's your job, men.
Yeah.
Just take the trash out.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, I mean,
or go ahead and be alone forever.
Yeah.
That's my thing is like just.
But do you understand how many men said that to us?
I have no energy.
How many men said that's their perspective?
I'm not shocked.
It was if she's not giving it to me, I'm getting it somewhere else. That's her job.
I'm
and blah,
sure.
blah, blah.
I'm sure you are. I'm sure
like,
you're
honey,
such a
you're not
hunky
getting
piece of
fucking laid
meat.
and
You
no
have
one's
women
laying
falling
you.
at your feet.
Yeah.
if you're this dumb, nobody's fucking you.
Yeah, even your wife won't.
Yeah.
So sad.
But it's just crazy that men do think
After
of a female
she
body as
literally
currency.
Sacrificed
It's
her
transactional.
body for months and months and months.
Well, that's the thing is like, okay, so you were the root cause the whole time anyway. So that's fine. Like, let's just go ahead and call a spade a spade.
And then some guys have the audacity to be like, "What? Birth doesn't wreck your body. Women are made for it." It's like, you fucking give birth, you fucking dickwad.
Tell that to my camel toe that wasn't there before delivering a baby.
Yeah,
right, exactly.
Are you fucking kidding me? Birth doesn't wreck your body.
Heart's already at it. Heart's already at it as a little boy going, oh, my cough hurts. I need honey. Look, they start young. They start young.
My God.
Anyway.
I mean, they really do start young.
And you get Farrah just, rolling over the concrete, just head first, tripping, and she's like, ready to party.
No,
she's
you
so
like
tough.
Look at either wrong way, and she's like,
so tough.
Especially right now.
He's in a whiny phase.
That's another story for another episode, though.
Yeah,
God.
we can talk about the whining next episode.
Us.
Yeah. Well, hey, I mean, honestly, it's perfect timing. You guys were 45 minutes in.
Love it.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. More marriage advice.
Yeah, more marriage
week.
advice.
Yeah.
Coming soon.
Bye.
From a happy marriage near you. Bye.
Rock, rock, rock me, mama.